All right, everybody. Chris Appleton here, co-founder and executive director of WonderRoot. This is my first Periscope broadcast, videocast, I guess that's what you call it, here at the WonderRoot Community Arts Center in Reynoldstown. It is the end of 2015, and just looking forward to giving everybody an update on the latest with WonderRoot, what happened in 2015 that for me were highlights, and what I'm excited about to come in 2016. And I guess the way that I'm going to do this is really a Q&A kind of thing. We pulled out some questions that we get regularly at WonderRoot, and I want to answer those questions for you. And so the first question that we get the most often is, of course, how's the progress with WonderRoot's new home, the new building? And the answer to that is that we made great progress this fall. 2015 for us was really about laying the groundwork to be able to repurpose this historic APS facility into a 54,000 square foot, 8-acre campus. And if we stay on the track that we're on right now, we should be under construction here in the next few months and open in 2017. So that's it for the building progress. Another question that we get a lot is, how are you paying for the new building? Certainly the new building is a multi-million-dollar project. It's a building that was built in 1922 that's been vacant now for going on 4 years, and so it needs a lot of updates and a major renovation, which we are poised to do. The design is done, our permits are filed with the city, and we are ready to get started here in just a few months. The funding for the project is coming really from 3 different sources, one of which is your traditional charitable contributions from foundations, corporations, and individuals like you. And then the other 2 are tax credit incentive programs, one that supports and incentivizes historic preservation and restoration, and the other that supports community-based economic development. We also are still getting questions, which we love to hear about, are there still studios available? Is there space for me at the WonderRoot Center for Arts and Social Change? And the answer is, we have a wait list that is about 4 times as long as the number of spaces available, but we're still very much encouraging people to submit rental applications, because we want to have a wait list in the event that there's turnover or somebody has to drop off before we open up the space. And so there might be studio space available for you, I guess is the answer to that question. How can artists get involved with the new building? Well, the new building is largely centered around resources and support for artists. So once we get the construction underway here in the spring, we will be engaging artists that will be utilizing the space, that we want to be a part of the space. And so the best thing to do is send an email to info@wonderroot.org, sign up for our newsletter, and let us know that you're interested in being involved. And when it's time to do charrettes with artists, commission artists for artworks on the campus, and co-design programming with artists, you'll be in the know on how to do that. Switching gears a little bit to what's happened in the last year with WonderRoot, I want to share a little bit about highlights. Highlights for 2015, some of which were very internal and kind of inward facing, and others of which were external and outward facing. So a big one for me is our strategic plan. We spent nearly all of 2015 doing a strategic plan with support from the Community Foundation and the Georgia Center for Nonprofits to write a new strategic plan that focuses on 4 major areas of priority. Another really important thing for us in 2015, which is really, really exciting, is we have this new brand. We went through a rebranding process with our great friends at Matchstick through their On the House program, over $100,000 in pro bono design and strategy services that they offered us. We've got a new logo, new website, a whole new way of telling the WonderRoot story, which has been really exciting. But I had to let go of the old WonderRoot logo, which was tough to do, but certainly it was time. 2015 and really going on into 2016, we've got this great program En Route that is in partnership with MARTA, the Transformation Alliance in Fulton County, funded by the National Endowment for the Arts, several local funders, Georgia Council for the Arts, Georgia Department of Economic Development, let's see, who else? The Ford Foundation, Transformation Alliance. We have some great partners that are making that program happen. Excited to work with Fahamu Peku and the supporting artists on that program in 2015 and start putting paint on walls here in 2016. Maybe my favorite program of 2015 is a program we did, What Are People For?, which was a program in partnership with the Reynoldstown Civic Improvement League, and also with support from the Neighborhood Fund and the Community Foundation, where we commissioned artist William Massey to produce 9 sculptures throughout Reynoldstown that tell the history and transformation of this important historic community in which WonderRoot resides. Looking forward to 2016, there's a lot coming up. In particular, I'm thrilled about our ongoing partnership with Mocha GA through the Walthall Artist Fellowship. We're in our fourth year of the Walthall Fellowship, which is our signature professional and career development program for artists. And that exhibition opens up this summer, which is going to be really great. The WonderRoot CSA is still going strong. We're coming up on our 8th season, and we have a very exciting thing that is going to happen in that season, but I can't quite tell you yet, so please stay tuned about what's going on with the WonderRoot CSA. And a really important program that we're doing right now in partnership with the American Friends Service Committee is an alternative sentencing program. Young men and women who are first-time offenders that are facing jail time have the opportunity, rather than jail time, ages 18 to 25, to participate in this alternative sentencing program where they can opt in and participate in this arts and entrepreneurship initiative that WonderRoot is leading the arts part, and our friends at the American Friends Service Committee are leading the entrepreneurship part, and that's a really important thing right now as juvenile justice and prison reform is an increasingly important issue in our community. I think the other thing that people are asking of WonderRoot is, you've got all this stuff going on, what can I do to support? And certainly there are a great number of ways for people to support the important and critical work that we're doing. I think the most important thing that people can do is to be informed about what's going on with WonderRoot. So sign up on our newsletter at wonderroot.org, follow us on social media, and stay up to date. Attend events, participate in programs. It's hard for us to ask you to be an advocate for what we're doing unless you know what's going on. So that's the number one thing that you can do. Second thing is spread the word. Tell your friends about what's going on with WonderRoot and help get more people involved. If you'd like to volunteer, WonderRoot very much relies on volunteers. The WonderRoot engine is so dependent on volunteers to make our world happen. And you can work with youth, you can serve on community advisory committees for programs, you can help staff the WonderRoot Community Arts Center. Those are certainly a number of ways. And then of course, supporting financially, which is a great thing for me to say at the end of 2015 as we're looking forward to the next year. Takes a great deal of resources to make the important work that WonderRoot does happen, and we cannot do it without the generous support, philanthropic support, and charitable support from individuals and foundations and community members that believe in the work that we do. And so visit us, wonderroot.org/donate, to learn more about how to donate, or send us an email at info@wonderroot.org, and we will tell you about how to get involved. So thanks so much for listening. I hope that my first Periscope broadcast was successful for you. I feel like I rambled for a few minutes, but was glad to do it. Thanks for tuning in and being such great friends and supporters of WonderRoot. Happy New Year.